Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today doing today doing a video to announce that Ilunga Makabu versus Tabiso Mchunu 2 is on, the rematch. This is going to be for the WBC Cruiserweight Championship of the World at 200 pounds. And it's a big rematch in the Cruiserweight division, and it has a lot of significance now because Canelo is interested in fighting the winner. So, just want to, first off, this is a mandatory title fight right here. Tabiso Mchunu's been waiting around for a shot, and Ilunga Makabu needed to make this mandatory defense prior to the Canelo showdown. Now, Canelo's requested that he get to fight for the WBC Cruiserweight title. He wants to be the first ever 5-division Mexican world champion, to win a championship in 5 different weight classes. That's why he's attempting to move up to Cruiserweight to fight the winner of this fight. Makabu's coming in the favorite. He knocked out Mchunu back in 2015, May of 2015. But there's a couple things to note about this fight, and that's why we're going to get into it. Makabu, following the win over Mchunu, got his first crack at a world title against Tony Bellew and got knocked out in that fight. That was the only real loss of Makabu's career. And I say real loss since he became significant. That's the only fight he lost. He lost his debut fight and won every fight until he ran into Bellew and then got knocked out in that fight in the second round after he had put Bellew down in the first round. So that was an entertaining and a big upset right there and they fought for the vacant WBC title then. Well, Makabu had to restore his career and climb back into the mix. And in 2019, he got a crack at he got a shot at a final eliminator. And he took on Alexei Papin in a great fight. It was actually on the Kovalev and Anthony Yard undercard. And they ended up going at it in a great fight that Makabu edged out Papin by a majority decision and made him the mandatory #1 contender. And then after Alexander Usyk gave up all his belts, Makabu would get a crack at the vacant WBC title when he took on Michel Cieslak, who was undefeated, and he defeated him by a close unanimous decision in his home country in Africa. So Makabu returned at the end of the year of 2020 and took on Duradola and knocked him out in the 7th round of an entertaining fight. But he's rolling right now. He's a #3 cruiserweight in the world, respectively. He's the reigning WBC champion, and he's a good fighter. Makabu is 25. I want to say he's 28-2 with 25 knockouts. Real power right here. And again, he knocked out Mchunu when they fought back in 2015. But here's a kicker. That occurred in the 11th round of a good fight, and Mchunu was winning on 2 of the 3 judges' scorecards. One judge had it even, and the other 2 judges had Mchunu ahead. One had him ahead by 1 point. The other judge had him ahead by 2 points. Or had him ahead, I think it was 97-93 heading into that 5th round. I mean that 11th round. So Mchunu, since then, prior to that, he had only lost 1 fight, and that was before he became significant. He went on before the fight with Makabu and beat Eddie Chambers, who's a former world title challenger at heavyweight. But since then, he suffered a couple losses. He won a fight after that, and then he ran into Alexander Usyk for the Cruiserweight title, the WBO Cruiserweight title, prior to Usyk joining the World Boxing Super Series. I think it might have been Usyk's first title defense, and Usyk stopped him in the 9th round of that fight. And since then, he's had to work hard to get back in the mix. He lost a decision to Konstantin Bejanaru, who's a solid-ass fighter. And he lost to highly regarded prospect, contender Thomas Ustuzian by a controversial decision, and then came back and beat him to avenge that loss. But in 2019, he got the opportunity against Denis Lebedev, a former #1 cruiserweight in the world, a former unified champ at cruiserweight. He took Lebedev on, and he dominated Lebedev over 12 rounds, scored a one-sided 12-round decision, and that really made him a player again in the cruiserweight division. He waited around. He was declared a mandatory challenger. He waited around, and now finally he's cashing in, and he has a chance at a huge opportunity here to extract some revenge, to win a world title, and to get a fight with fucking Canelo. I mean, this is big. This is close to a 50-50 fight. Makabu might be number 3 in the world right now, and he's better than he was back in 2015 when they fought. But so is Tabiso Mchunu. Don't look at his 23-5 record and look at him as a guy that there's a pushover. He lost to Makabu, who's number 3 in the world at cruiserweight right now. He's lost to Alexander Usyk, who's one of the pound-for-pound best fighters in the world right now. And he avenged his loss to Thomas Ustuzian. And Konstantin Bejanaru was a pretty highly regarded prospect on the rise too, who beat him. So Mchunu is solid, and this is a good matchup right here. And again, a lot is at stake, way more than the WBC title now. Now Makabu's hungry for a fight with the pound-for-pound king Canelo Alvarez, of course. But Mchunu might be hungrier. He gets revenge, he wins his first world title, and he could land a Canelo fight. I mean, there's nothing bigger than those three things right there. So, a lot at stake in this rematch. I really think it's going to be an entertaining-ass fight. It takes place January 29th in 2022. And I really hope that Don King can work it out with one of the networks to get this fight on one of the networks, you know, on Showtime, whatever. I hope Don King can work that out because, you know, it's a big fight. And to be honest, one of the networks should pay for it. And as a sign of good faith to Canelo, like, hey, look, we're going to show this fight. And it's actually taking place in the U.S., so it should get on American television. But that should be a message to Canelo. Hey, we're going to show this fight. You know, maybe you come fight this guy on our network. So that, to me, that's either going to be DAZN or it's going to be Showtime or Fox with the PBC. Those are the two that have been working with Canelo as of late. But hey, maybe ESPN will want to step up their game and fucking go get Canelo to join their brand to fight this guy. This is supposed to be, the winner is likely landing a Canelo fight in May. So we'll see. But big fight right here. Rematch for the WBC Cruiserweight title. You don't want to miss out. Cruiserweight is a highly underrated division that doesn't get the love it deserves. And it's going to be a really good fight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Remember, Makabu versus Mchunu 2 is on. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.